Welcome to the Lakers Nation news feed, your source for all the latest Lakers news in 15 minutes or less. My name is Trevor Lane, senior writer for LakersNation.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Trevor_Lane. We've got a ton to talk about today with the trade deadline passing and the Lakers pulling off a huge move. But first, I want to tell you about our friends at Simple Contacts. You can renew your prescription and reorder your brand of lenses from anywhere in minutes. You can even do it from your couch. It's awesome. Go check them out, simplecontacts.com/LakersNation. Go to that URL and you'll actually get $30 off your order. It's a fantastic deal. Simplecontacts.com/LakersNation. So the Lakers today actually traded Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance Jr. a short time before the NBA trade deadline to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in return, they received guard Isaiah Thomas and big man Channing Frye, plus the Cavaliers' top 3 protected first-round pick. I've brought in Hannah Kulik from LakersNation.com to help us break it all down and figure out just what the Lakers are left with after this trade. Hannah, how are you doing? Hopefully you have not cried too much after losing your guy, Jordan Clarkson.
Oh my gosh. You know what, Trevor? It's kind of been one of those days. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely sad about it. I understand from a professional standpoint, that it probably is better for the Lakers in the long term, but for the short term, it's definitely difficult seeing, Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance. Those are 2 of my 3 favorite guys on the team. So it was definitely a very rough day. I got upwards of probably 50, probably even more text messages and just messages from people being like, "Are you okay?" But I'm okay, guys. Upset, but it's okay.
So you're hanging in there. So
Yes.
let's talk about this deal from the Lakers' perspective. Are you a fan of this move? I mean, personal feelings for Jordan Clarkson aside, is this something that you feel is a good move for the Lakers?
I think yes, if we are able to sign these at least 1 or 2 max free agents this summer, because, I don't want to put this out in the universe, but my biggest fear right now is, okay, we cleared all this cap space, which is great. But then what if it happens the same that happened a few years ago when we were left with all this cap space and we had to, sign Deng and Mozgov to these huge contracts to fill it? I'm still a little hesitant. But I do think that it was the best thing.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the big question is now that they've got this flexibility, what do they do with it? I mean, we know that they may even look to use some of it in 2019. I mean, heck, they could sign 1 max guy this coming summer in 2018 and then another in 2019. They could sign 2 guys in 2019 and nobody in 2018. Their options are still out there and they've got plenty of different things that they can do. From a value standpoint, were you happy with what the Lakers got in return? I mean, not looking at just the cap space?
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas is a good player. I mean, obviously he's, coming back from being injured and stuff. And I know there were reports that were saying that we're going to want him long term, but I don't think that makes any sense personally. But I think that for the moment, it is a good pickup. Isaiah Thomas is a player who can, teach Lonzo a lot of stuff. He's a good, solid, contributor for scoring and stuff. And it's going to be interesting to see when Lonzo does come back, them playing together. I don't think Thomas is going to get the start once Ball is back, but I think them playing together could actually work just because I feel like obviously Isaiah Thomas is more of, a guy who looks to score and, Lonzo obviously being the great facilitator that he is. I think it'll definitely be very interesting and hopefully exciting.
Yeah, I mean that's the key word there is exciting. You've got a player in Isaiah Thomas who has not had a great season, but I keep pointing back to this fact. He has only played 15 games this season. 15 games. That is a tiny, tiny sample size. So everybody's saying that he is washed up and he's just not the guy he was in Boston. Well, it takes a little while to come back from injuries like he had. So I'm not ready to close the book on him at all. I'm not saying he's going to be the Boston Isaiah Thomas or anything like that. But you know what? I think that he can still contribute on the floor. I think he can be a positive for the Lakers. And we know he grew up a lifelong Lakers fan. So it's going to mean something to him to put on that Lakers jersey. We know that he wanted to be a Laker back a few years ago when he signed in free agency with the Suns. He was hoping to wind up in Los Angeles. So this is a guy that I think could be a really good addition. Plus Channing Frye, he with his floor spacing ability as a big man, both those guys can shoot. Those are something that the Lakers need. And so, yeah, you've got not just expiring contracts here, but I think you've got pieces that the team needed, pieces that should fit, even if things are a little bit awkward between Lonzo and Isaiah Thomas, at least in the short term. And who knows, like you said, maybe they do bring back Isaiah Thomas. Maybe they just give him a 1-year deal if they're not able to get a max free agent this coming summer. He could be a very exciting piece moving forward, depending on which Isaiah Thomas we see, whether it's the Boston guy or the guy that we saw in Cleveland. And not to rant too long here, but I talked to a few people that I know in Boston, and they were raving about Isaiah Thomas, raving about just how great of a guy he is and how amazing he is to cover as a member of the media. And so that's exciting as well, is to get to cover Isaiah Thomas, and especially if he can get his game back on track. Hey, let's talk about this draft pick. The Lakers were able to pick up the Cleveland Cavaliers 2018 first-round pick. The Lakers did not have a 2018 first-round pick because their own pick is going to either the Philadelphia 76ers or Boston Celtics this summer. So now they pick up a pick in this draft. It is top 3 protected, which is basically meaningless because the Cavs are probably not going to finish in the lottery in just about any projection you run. So what value do you think the Lakers can add with this pick? Is this something that is a big part of the deal to you, or is this more of just a throw-in?
Well, I think it's something that is definitely very interesting because, it's going to be probably like a mid 20th overall pick, something around there.
Right. And I think it's 25 right now.
Yeah, something around there. And, we've been very successful at that, spot in the past. So, we were able to get Larry Nance and obviously Kyle Kuzma around there. I think they're both like 27. So it's definitely going to be interesting. It also could be, a nice little package to try to get rid of, maybe Dang's contract if we're able to maybe slide that in there. So it definitely doesn't hurt us at all.
Yeah, it's the type of thing that's going to give the Lakers and their scouting staff another opportunity to excel. I mean, like you said, they found Larry Nance Jr., they found Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart has been playing so well lately. They even found Jordan Clarkson late in the draft in 2014. So the Lakers scouting staff has historically done a very nice job identifying talent. So in their hands, I think it could be a pretty valuable pick. I mean, they could be able to find a decent piece there. But like you said, maybe they flip it. Maybe they use it as a trade piece as we head into the summer, and they use it to try to clear Luol Deng's salary, although we don't know if that'll really be enough to move it. But still, there's a lot of different ways that they could go with that. As far as replacing Clarkson and Nance, how do you see that playing out with the team? I mean, Nance obviously being a big part of the defense, Clarkson being so integral to the team's offense and their recent run of good play. Do you think the team's going to be able to bounce back from this and kind of pick up where they left off? I mean, chemistry can be kind of a fickle thing.
Yeah, that was my biggest concern. I think that was something that I was just the most frustrated about, was just because we were finally getting into this groove. Things were finally starting to kind of fall into place for us. We were starting to play really well. We were winning games. We were being, it was really exciting to watch us, and just to kind of see the whole team being broken up was something that was just the hardest for me personally. And, I really do like Isaiah Thomas, so I don't want to badmouth him at all. But, people would always say that Clarkson's defense wasn't good, but Isaiah Thomas's defense isn't very good at all. So I am a little bit concerned about that. In terms of Larry Nance, I mean, I loved Larry. I just thought he's a guy, any team, whoever wants to be successful in the league needs a guy like Larry Nance. He's a guy who's going to just fill up that stat sheet and do so many little things that maybe don't show up on the stat sheet, but he just brought so much to this team in terms of leadership and, energy and hustle. And I'm going to definitely really miss those two guys for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We were fortunate to have Larry Nance Jr. on our podcast many, many times. And he was always just such an awesome guy. He's makes himself so accessible and is always so open and honest with all of his responses and candid. So yeah, we will definitely miss Larry Nance Jr. and just his personality around the team, and of course what he provided on the floor, that constant hustle, and the same thing with Jordan Clarkson, his scoring that's been getting better and better. He's having a career season, but I think in the end, you just got to look at this deal and think, man, this is really good value, and it fits so well with what the Lakers were trying to do. I mean, I feel like this is a good moment for the Lakers, even if it is bittersweet, because now we're going to have Larry Nance Jr. in the dunk contest wearing a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey in Staples Center, which will be a little bit awkward. And we're going to have, this little bit of a void to fill with Nance gone and with Clarkson gone. So the Lakers are going to have to figure out how they're going to do that. Overall, though, I think I like the deal. You know, I posted a poll on Twitter not that long ago, 3 hours ago, and I just said, what grade would you give it? And I mean, overwhelming. This was a trade that was very highly supported. I've got 61% said they would grade this an A. 31% said they would grade it a B, and these are Lakers fans that are responding. So 92%, I'd say, are in favor of this deal. It was only 5% that rated it a C, 3% a D. So this is a move that I feel like Lakers fans are excited about. If you were to throw in your own personal grade, what letter grade would you give this trade, Hannah?
You know, it's funny, Trevor. I actually voted on your poll.
Oh, you're one? Okay, so which one?
Yes,
which one are you in?
I voted a B.
Okay.
Because I understand that for the Lakers' future, this was the best thing. And I know that they did have to take drastic measures if they did want to improve. But it is still bittersweet. But I am being practical. I understand that it is good and it's going to be good for us in the future, hopefully. So I gave it a B. But I actually also did a Twitter poll this morning, and 75% of mine said that they were happy about it. So like you said, I mean, most fans and most people they think it's a great deal. And I understand why. I completely get it.
Well, that's interesting. So you had 75% were in favor of the deal when you ran the poll this morning. I missed yours, and I'm at 92. So it kind of feels like maybe, I mean, this is maybe reaching a little bit because our polls only have a certain amount of reach here. But maybe as people are getting adjusted to the trade, they're getting more and more excited about it. Since you did yours this morning and I did mine this evening, especially as people have been talking about it. I know I've been on a variety of shows talking about this deal all day, and you know, I'm still excited about it. I think it's a good move overall. If I had to put in my own letter grade, I think it's an A trade. I think it just checks so many boxes for the Lakers and exactly what they're trying to do. So this is going to be this is a big moment for them, and I think it's a nice moment for Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka as well, for them to prove that they can be that steadying hand, because this is well, let's put it this way. If you were to look at this trade and remove the pick, I think most people would still say it's a good deal, because they got the pure expiring contracts. You got a guy like Isaiah Thomas who can do something on the team to really help on the floor. And then you throw in the pick, and I think that's what really tips the scale into the Lakers' favor, and that Pelinka and perhaps Magic, I don't know how involved he was, but that they were able to negotiate that in. I think that's pretty impressive, because it feels like the Lakers won this trade, at least in my mind anyway.
Yeah, and, I mean, it completely plays into exactly, what Magic and Pelinka's plan is for the future, and that is to try to sign 2 max free agents, and whether that's both at once this summer or one this summer and one next summer, it definitely plays into their plan perfectly. So I think in the beginning, there just was that initial shock factor, and there definitely was with me. But, as time goes on, you understand, and you kind of reality starts to set in a little bit, and you think, okay, this is going to be good. It's going to be good. And also, at the end of the day, I do have confidence in Magic and in Pelinka that I don't think they would have done a trade like this unless they were very confident that they were going to be able to get someone this summer. So that is something that makes me excited, because I'm thinking, oh, well, I think we're going to get someone now. So hopefully. So as time goes on and, reality starts to set, I'm okay with it.
Very true. That's a good point there, that we don't know what the Lakers have heard through back channels. Perhaps there was some impetus added here because they were hearing that, hey, maybe somebody wants to come. Maybe somebody is planning on making the jump to Los Angeles, whether it's Paul George or LeBron James or whoever that is that they're hearing from. So maybe that's out there. Again, that's speculation, but still, I mean, it's a good sign that the team's going to have the flexibility to do what they can this summer and in the future. I think that's definitely a positive thing, like you said, even if it is bittersweet to lose Nance and Clarkson. All right, well, Hannah, I think we can wrap it up there. Do you have any parting thoughts here or anything like that before we call it a day?
Oh man, now that Clarkson's gone, I have to give 150% to Kyle Kuzma. I don't know if everyone's ready for that, but no, I'm happy about it. I think it's sad, but I think it's going to be fine. And the Lakers are playing currently right now, and they're doing fine. I was a little nervous about how they were going to come out tonight, but they're doing fine. So I think it's going to be okay, guys. It's going to be good.
All right, my spot on Randall Island is secure at this point.
I know, right? You must be so happy, and you were right about Nance all along. And I thought you were crazy a few months ago when you said it.
That's
Trevor,
right.
you're psychic.
I did call that some time ago. I'll have to go back and find that clip and then just put it on loop and remind myself of just how right I am. All
You're
right,
a genius.
Well, yes, I clearly I must be. All right, so let's call it a night on that one. And Hannah, thanks so much for coming on here and helping me break this all down. Been a crazy day. Appreciate you taking some time.
Of course, I always love coming on the podcast. It's always so fun to come on with you.
All right, guys. So don't forget to head over to simplecontacts.com/LakersNation. Get your $30 off a new pair of contacts. And that's going to do it for today. Next time there's any breaking Lakers news, make sure you check out the Lakers Nation news feed because we're always here whenever anything big is going on in the world of the Los Angeles Lakers. My name is Trevor Lane. Again, find me on Twitter at Trevor_Lane. Guest was Hannah Kulik. You can find her on Twitter at Hannah_Kulik. And we're both from LakersNation.com, your one-stop shop for all things Lakers. See you next time.